scored more than 2 goals at home. They ran out 3-0 winners against 7th place Sheffield United. Shall we talk about it? Let's do this. Completely unscripted. We don't know when we're going to finish. Let's go for it. And we want to get you involved. So come on, click on that StreamYard link, wherever it is on these screens. Click that StreamYard link. We will try and get you in. Of course, if there's high demand, then we will only have time for some of you. But completely unscripted. Get you on over here. Let's talk about it. So, I mean, where do you begin? I suppose it's in the words of Kyle Thompson. I'll start from the beginning, like I usually do, and that wasn't the best impression. Sorry, Kyle, who will no doubt be watching this after he has recorded his quick thoughts, which will be on the NFTV Extra channel. So be sure to check those out as well. The lineup. So, guys, for me personally, there were no real surprises here. Dubravka in goal with a back 4-2-3-1 formation. It's what worked before the lockdown, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a massive hint, wasn't it, Rob, in the friendlies, that Bruce was going to continue to play a 4-2-3-1 formation, and I think it was only really a question who was going to play right back and right-sided midfield for us, and that's what we were discussing in the previews. And effectively, if Richie was fit, we thought he would start, and then if not, it would be Lazaro. But there was a question mark around, was it Yedlin or Mankiewicz? Sam's nicely said that he was right earlier on today, weren't you, Sam?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and already, I have to say, we've got 3 people waiting to come on with us. We'll get you all on shortly. We'll go with Christopher first in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I pretty much predicted the lineup bob on. I liked it. I like Richie starting further forward, back in his old position, because I think we were too quick to forget just how many vital goals he got us in that first season back in the Premier League when he was playing in an attacking midfield role. The goals against Man United, Arsenal. I was really pleased to see him start again in his more natural position, and it looked like it paid off dividends. Goal and a fortunate assist.
The only thing that was really missing from Richie today was kicking the corner flag out the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, Richie had it all today. Who would be your man of the match? I wonder. Of course, 2 obvious contenders. ASM, absolutely unplayable. He claimed the Sky Sports man of the match. Matt Ritchie, though, you can't argue with when the stats say 1 goal plus 2 assists. So, shall we try and get people on?
Yeah, I'll happily volunteer to come out and Sam. So if you kick me out, I'll control it and you bring it in.
Okie doke. Right. He's gone. Lawler's gone. And
Lawler's
here we
gone.
have Christopher.
Hey,
hello,
good
Christopher.
afternoon.
Well, you guys wanted to have someone who's not from Newcastle on. So I do live in London, but obviously I'm not from here.
Okay, but so your thoughts of the game, and I can see what you've got a Newcastle shirt there. What year is that? I can tell by the collar. I'm guessing 97, 98.
Yeah,
brown ale shirt.
Something is wrong with the
Yeah, StreamYard cameras are a little bit confusing, but you get used to it as you go along. But yes, I'll let you get settled.
It's a Shearer shirt from '98.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. So tell us your thoughts right now. Of course, 0-0 at half-time, but that second half was dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always the optimist. I mean, I'm thinking that they'll come back strong, and the break will serve them well, and that all of this takeover talk, they'll be able to put it behind themselves and be able to just crack on and get a result, and they did.
Yeah, of course. For the last 100 days, the takeover has been dominant in what we've had to talk about. But I'll tell you what, from a personal perspective, as soon as that first goal went in, I just missed that feeling of us taking the lead, that celebration, that release of pure joy. Somehow Football Manager just doesn't really cut it for me in the same way, not in the same mustard. But how was it like for you when ASM hit the back of the net? And of course, Ender Stevens taking defending lessons from the school of David Luiz.
Oh, it's just amazing. I mean, there's obviously a lot of haters on the internet and people that seem to have just sort of negative thoughts about Newcastle, and everything is always negative, and the hate on the fans for wanting too much. And I think we just want a side that has ambition and tried. And I think the squad was able to show that they're trying to, and they feel the fans behind them, and they know that everyone's thinking about having Ashley gone. But I think they're able to sort of say, look, this is what we've got for now, and we're going to put our best foot forward, and they did.
And for those of you watching, keep your comments coming in. I'm absolutely loving them, seeing them scrolled across the screen. And of course, if you want to join us, like what Christopher's doing right now, be sure to click on that StreamYard link. And I guess another highlight today to talk about, Joe Linton's first Premier League goal at St. James's Park. He goes and hits the turf in celebration. It's finally happened for him.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. I mean, I was one that thought he would come right, and it was just a matter of time. And everyone was very, very hard on him, and obviously that has to take a toll. I mean, he's got to, he's not the one that said sign me for 40 million, and he's got that sort of monkey on his back. But I think he's come right, and he's shown that he's got some nerve of steel, and really going to do right by the fans and everything.
Yeah, and of course we've talked recently about, will Joe Linton thrive in his performances behind closed doors, and today from that first half, that chance, and I just thought, oh no, it's as if the crowd, it's as if 55,000 are there, let alone 52,000 are there, and he bottled it. And I just thought, no, please don't. I'm not a fan of being wrong, but if I have to be wrong, then I will take the flak.
It almost makes the goal better that he kind of showed sort of, this is what I've been like before. And obviously, there's 10 men. He's facing 10 men, and all the things you could say. Well, like the goal was just set up for him, but I just think he's just showing that. Give me a chance, don't give up on me, stick with me, and I'll come right. And I think he did.
Thank you very much, Christopher. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you have a smashing end of the day. Go and celebrate.
Away the lads.
Away the lads. Okay, so for those of you watching,
cheers,
we hope to see you later. So we want to bring more of you in. We want to talk to more of you. And so who have we got now? We have, it's Lee. Hello.
Yeah, we'll bring in Ali very shortly. And Rob, just so we get a little bit of structure. So if you want to start, from the beginning, I guess, the first goal or first incident, Joe Linton.
Yeah, as we talked about Joe Linton. But I guess before that, we'll talk about this, of course, being the first game at St. James's Park, being about the Black Lives Matter movement, when powerful scene when every player and plus the referee as well, coaching staff, all took the knee. Just how powerful is it that the Black Lives Matter movement is being on the platform of the Premier League, Sam?
Huge,
Hello, Sam.
massively important. We've seen it. Massive. We've seen it now for the past few games, and it's such a powerful message and really vital and important. It was great to see us do our bit as well. Mm-hmm. It's great that it's finally building some traction, because obviously things have been wrong in society for far too long, and it's great that football can do their bit, and it was great to see it at St. James's today. And
keep your comments coming in. Like I say, I am loving them as they come across the screen. Safe 3 points. Forgot what the name. Best performance of the season by a mile. And with it, with the scoreline of 3-0, I can see Lee nodding there. It's difficult to argue against that, certainly, Lee.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, you'll probably break down the goals very shortly, but as an overall collective, of course, we'll be talking more about it on the last word later on tonight. But it was, I think the red card probably did help a little bit. We were fortunate with the error which led to Alan Saint-Maximin's first goal. But then Egan's, Mackems have been fantastic this year, all year round, and he's a former Mackem, and he gets a second yellow card and he's off. And I think that was the red card probably did help her, to be honest, and made the scoreline a lot more emphatic. Is that right word? I've just said that. I've just made up a word there, haven't I?
Emphatic, yeah.
Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, well, I think the red card, we were definitely the better team before the red card. Of course, it was still goalless at the time. But then I think Sheffield United were in pretty much unknown territory when they were down to 10 men, because playing 4 at the back is unusual for them. They're not used to that. The success that they've built this season has been from that flat back 5. And so the defence just carved open. And plus, what do you say for Enda Stevens' defending for the ASM goal? But of course, if you're watching, be sure to use the Twitter hashtag NUFC. We'll be reading tweets out over the course of this show. And so, I guess now's a good time. So,
Sam,
Ali,
we'll kick Sam out, and we'll bring Alan, who was in from Hong Kong. Hi, Al. Oh, we'll bring him back in again.
Oh, have we lost him? Oh,
how good was that?
Hello, hello, Ali. Yes, hello.
Yeah, how good was
how
that?
good was that indeed? And what time is it now where you are?
It's just after 11 o'clock at night.
Wow. Fabulous. So, your take on that second half?
I mean, I think to put it in perspective, we've got to recognise that Sheffield United's got the second best defence in that division after Liverpool. It puts it in perspective to me. I know they went down to 10 men, but the way they played, we played them off the park.
It's also the first time. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's also the first time that Sheffield United have conceded more than 2 goals this season. We've just thumped Sheffield United on 2 occasions this season. Well, I say thumped, I mean when we beat them 2-0 back in December, it was their biggest home defeat for over 2.5 years. And of course, today has been a very unhappy return for Chris Wilder, who the last time he was an opposing manager at St James's Park was when his Northampton side lost 4-1 to Florian Thauvann's goal plus 3 assists back in August 2015. So I guess let's move on now. The first.
One of the nice things to see was how the football actually started to flow. You could see them getting confidence in their own game all the way towards the end. There, they were moving that ball around so nicely.
Oh yeah, amazing. I think the first half, it took a while for both teams to sort of get going, because we've seen 9 games now since the restart. Only 4 first half goals in that. Do you think the lack of match sharpness has certainly contributed to the slow starts we've had since the restart?
Oh, I think definitely, no doubt about that. No doubt.
Of course, when you look at Sheffield United's goalless draw, or what should have been a 1-0 win the other night against Aston Villa, do you think they've lost momentum completely? Hello,
Sorry, I'm just responding to that comment. Some people saying I'm trying to concentrate. I am very, very happy. Don't get me wrong, Jeff. Just I'm controlling this, so I've got to keep an eye on what's happening.
Yeah, Sheffield United seem to have lost that momentum as they try and aim for a Europa League place at the very least. Do you think that this restart has been a big hindrance on them?
I think it's a hindrance on every team. I don't think you can say it's worse for Sheffield United than any other team on it. I think it probably would have hit them. I think it would have hit them, the goal being disallowed. But who gives it away?
And so playing them off the park in the second half, just a shame that Miguel Almiron missed that chance. Brilliant work from ASM. But Ali, I want to know, who is your man of the match today? I suppose you've got the 2 obvious contenders of ASM and Richie.
I thought Shelby had a good game today.
Shelby, yeah. I suppose it's one of those things where
he was keeping the momentum going all the way through.
Yeah, I guess every single player would get at least 7 out of 10. Speaking of which, the player ratings will come some point later on this afternoon. So be sure to tune in for that. That will also be live. I guess the defence did their job. Oh, sorry, Ali.
I think I'll be in bed then.
But thank you very much for joining us, especially at that time of night.
Show. Absolutely love it.
You're going to bed happy tonight. So thank you very much for joining us, and we shall see you later.
Right, Rob, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to bring in 2 guests for you. You're going to have Scotty, who's going to come in, and then we'll also bring in as well Jay from Atlanta as well. So hiya, Scott, how are you doing? And I'm just going to leave the stream, and I'll bring in Jay from Atlanta.
Hello, Scott. How are you doing, mate? Hello, Scott.
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing great.
So you're
hello.
Oh, hello,
Yeah.
and hello, Jay in Atlanta.
Hello.
What time is it there? What time is it there in Atlanta right now?
It is 11 a.m., the complete opposite of Hong Kong. So
Hong Kong, yeah. Fantastic. So we'll start off with you, Jay. Your thoughts from that second half?
Really 2 big takeaways for me. The midfield delivered offensively. I saw there were 4 obvious chances on goal, but continually we released somebody, and that's what we're looking for out of our midfield with ASM, Amaron, and Richie. And they succeeded in that, both against 11 and in the second half, they kind of ran wild with that. So that's kind of my first big takeaway for how we succeeded today.
And Scott, your thoughts on the lineup? Of course, Carroll being left out again. Of course, Joe Linton was misfiring before the break. Then, of course, Lazaro, who seemed to be hot on the goal-scoring trail after scoring against West Brom, was left out as well. Your thoughts from that starting 11?
Well, I was actually expecting Lazaro to start instead of Richie, but I'm kind of glad Richie did start.
Fantastic. And then, of course, I forgot what I was going to mention. But yes, the incidents during the game. I guess if you're Chris Wilder, you're going to be really hacked off with John Egan, aren't you?
Well, yeah, definitely. Like first, like pushing and shoving around with Joe Linton, and then actually getting sent off for something on Joe Linton.
Yeah, and so Jay, how much did the red card affect the result for you?
How about this? I think it changed the bottom line of it, and it enabled the 3-0. I think we were going to get our goal at least, perhaps 1-0, maybe a 2-1 if we made a mistake. But I think it was important, even more so than the final line, that it let us play. And I think the confidence that we'll gain from that space and opportunity will carry forward in the future matches.
Once again, another clean sheet for Martin Dubravka. Now, of course, Bernd Leno got injured yesterday. That looks like that will be for a certain amount of time. So that paves the door open for Dubravka to claim the prize of the most saves in the Premier League season. How much do you think? Of course, he wasn't that involved in the game today. Of course, ASM and Richie dominated the headlines. But how much, Scott, do you think that Dubravka has had this season? How much of an influence?
He's been absolutely brilliant. Like he's been there when we've needed him the most. Of course, I mean, like if we had like Caldalo in the net, then some goals would have probably been let in.
Okay, and also Jay, what are your thoughts in terms of going into Wednesday's game against Aston Villa? Surely we're just hyped up now, ready for it.
Oh, really thrilled. I have to tell you that I count me in the worried batch about the rest of the season. I'm not worried now. I feel like Bruce's changes, whether you like them or not, approve of kind of how he approaches it. He has made the changes and they worked in this match. And I expect us to maintain our style of play and do well with Aston Villa.
And finally, predictions for Wednesday night, starting with Jay.
I think it's 3 points. I haven't looked at their recent play and lineups, so I don't know how they're going to handle the style we saw today. So let's go 2-0. Let's be bold. 2-0.
Safe. And finally, Scott.
I'm gonna say like 1-0. like we win it like in the 80th minute.
Class. So both of you, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you have a fantastic night. Keep the party going, keep the celebration going.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So yes, they were the thoughts of Scott and Jay. Fantastic to get them on. Let's get more of you on because we are really enjoying this. Let's keep this party going. So let's talk about the table now, guys. 12th place now, 11 points off the drop with 8 games to go. We are actually closer to Chelsea in 4th than we are to actually right in the middle between Chelsea and Bournemouth. Not geographically, of course, but yes, we are right in the middle points-wise between 4th and 18th.
I think it's if you look at that league table, I think all of us agreed that one more win would probably be enough for Newcastle, and now we're on 38 points. We've got that, and we can go in and play the last 8 games of the season. And obviously, Bruce's target at the top 10. If you look at that, Arsenal are only 2 points ahead of us, which is mental. I think, because how bad of a season that Arsenal are having, and 2 points between us and Arsenal. Top 10 is now a realistic place. It's probably going to be between Arsenal, Burnley, Newcastle, and Everton, maybe Southampton as well, to finish whoever finishes in that top 10. But it's mental to talk about the performance today, how easy it was, in particular second half. And again, we were laughing at the TV because they were all saying, the guys on the TV were all saying that Steve Bruce has done a great job. And you've got to look at it and think, well, wait a minute, we're sitting in 12th and 38 points. We're practically safe now. Could he actually go on and give a top 10 position, Sam?
Possibly. That might be stretching it a little bit. I think today was a big game to get points on the board. Wednesday's the same. And then after that, we've got, obviously, the FA Cup. And then we've got a couple of tricky games. And then we've got to go to places like Bournemouth, which is achievable to get something there. Similar to Watford, although we don't have a great record down there. Top 10. I mean, Rafa did it in our first season back. It's plausible. Don't get me wrong, it's plausible, but just to get rolling and get 3 points on the board straight away, because we do have a history of starting slow, like I mentioned in the preview the other night. It's just a big relief and just brilliant.
Brilliant. I'm going to drop out Rob, and I'm going to bring in Elliot for you.
Elliot, thank you. So just as Elliot is about to join us, hello. Hi, Elliot. It's great to see you. Brilliant.
I was watching on Sky Sports, and Joe Linton showed a very bad chance.
Oh yeah. Talk about. I absolutely despaired when he missed that chance to goal. But I had to say 3-0. That has exceeded all expectations by the look of it.
Yeah, and I think we're safe. We must win on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think. When you look at Aston Villa, of course, they're fighting for it. But when you look at their form, of course, this dates back to before the lockdown.
No. But I want Liverpool to win the title.
Oh yeah, I think restarting the Premier League was a good thing, so that they can win it properly instead of winning it with an asterisk next to the point section. But looking at Aston Villa, looking ahead to that game, 1 point from the last 5 for Aston Villa. Surely they're there for the taking.
My point would be, I think we can get into the top 10. I was saying Lee's point on Sky Sports commentary were praising. I want to make Lee's point because Sky Sports were praising. Bruce, he thought he'd done a good job, but nobody wanted when Rafa left back end of last season. I think Brucey's giving the manager, but I'm skeptical on the takeover situation.
Yeah, I think because of the brilliant win this afternoon, I think now's the time to just leave the takeover to one side. We don't really we don't want to talk about that. But yeah,
I want to enjoy me can of Coke.
I'll let you do that. Thank you very much for coming on, Elliot. It's been a joy to have you on here.
Anytime. Bye.
Away the lads. Bye now. So there are thoughts of Elliot, and
hey guys.
Coming in now, we have Lawrence. Hello, Lawrence. It's been a long time since we last saw you.
Yeah.
And I see lockdown has not exactly been kind to your hair. I can't really talk. I mean, I had to shave most of mine off the other day.
Yeah. I did actually tweet about, lockdowns doing stuff like Hayden and Cher's hair as well.
Yeah, and of course, Alexander Mitrovic. Lockdown has not been kind to him when you look at that fashion statement. Okay, so Lawrence, I guess one place to start is the red card. How much do you think that had an effect on the game?
I think, it had quite an effect on the game. I don't think I don't think the third goal happens without the red card. You could probably say the same for the first goal, but we still deserved it. Sheffield United can't really have excuses for their performance.
And whilst the score was 1-0, Billy Sharp missed a big opportunity. And of course, if he buries that, that's 1-1. How much do you think the game would have played out had he scored that?
It's a difficult one. I think maybe we would have lost a bit of confidence conceding a goal against 10 men. I think would have had more possession. They would have probably They might have defended better. Having a point to get, which would have been good for them with the red card. But then again, we've had missed chances. Dwight Gales had a couple in December where people were like, if he buried that, it would change it. But then some people would think, well, we still deserve to lose the game, and Sheffield United deserve to lose today.
And one thing I really want to ask you, Lawrence, and now you've been going to games for many years. You've been a friend of the channel for many years. You went on fan cams regularly when we had them. How did it feel to see St James's game behind closed doors at St James's Park, and what did you make of the fake crowd noise?
I like having the crowd noise. It was a bit weird having the game behind closed doors. Plus, for me, I have also tweeted that I should be looking forward happy pre-match post-match pints, and then my metro journey home. But
usual match day routine sort of thing, you had to miss it out, unfortunately.
It's kind of more typical that we'd have opponents like this whilst we cannot attend.
I know, it's typical, isn't it? The first game that we can't actually watch, and the players save the best performances. But let's. I want to know what everyone thinks. So let's have a look at the Twitter. If you use the hashtag NUFC, we'll bring some tweets on the screen and everything. So Lawrence, where do you think we will go from here?
As well, our Twitter feed on Newcastle Fans TV is fantastic. At Newcastle Fans TV on Twitter.
I could not agree more. So yes, those that you can see on your screen right now, those are the tweets relating to the match, and I wish that I was actually able to read that because the text is a bit too small. So if someone could assist me with that, I would be very grateful.
It's a difficult one. Am I the only one to keep checking the table? Man, you've skipped past it.
But yeah, keep those tweets coming in. We will have them read out on here. But yes, looking ahead to Aston Villa, who are actually involved right now. Let's have a check on that score. But we have to say 0-0. So we are going to be a team that will definitely be feared following that performance. Wouldn't you agree, Lauren?
Yeah. My prediction for the game I definitely think we'll win against Villa. Might not be as easy if they can get a point against Chelsea, but I think Chelsea will eventually beat them, and I put Villa to go down.
So finally, who was your man of the match today, Lawrence?
I haven't really thought of that, but I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to go with ASM, but I might just decide when you do your player ratings, because when you do it, it gives me like a chance to like remember like this what each player did and didn't do.
Yeah, so interesting. Yes, the player ratings will be coming up live later today. So thank you very much for joining us, Lawrence. It's been a joy to have you on the channel as always, and we shall see you later.
See you guys.
So those were the thoughts of Lawrence, and absolutely fantastic to hear your thoughts, what the party's going on. Lee, plans for tonight in terms of celebrating?
Unfortunately, I'll be helping you all do the videos, but give us a heads up, Rob, when we'll go to Twitter so I can take the border off, because Sam was trying to hint here when it's Sam.
Sorry about that.
So it just sort of looks better.
I'll do my best.
But yeah, we're coming up. We've got a few shows later on tonight. We've obviously got a live scoring the players, which won't be long after this video. And then hopefully we've got that Sheffield United fan, if they are brave enough to come on. We'll see about that now. And on an FTV Extra now, Kyle will have his quick thoughts to jump over there after this. And then we've got the big one, which is the last word, which is coming out later on tonight.
So yes, your post-match vids, and as usual, we would pre-record those in normal circumstances, but because of the lockdown, we are delivering them, and it's live, as Martin Tyler would say. So I guess one thing that we haven't really touched upon is the second goal. Matt Ritchie, how much of a relief was that? And how, actually, I think one of the unsung heroes in that move was Danny Rose.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Sam.
The thing is, with Rose, I thought he was having a pretty poor game up until then. I thought he struggled first half, and I think Sheffield United were targeting him. However, there was just such an abundance of confidence after. There was like an almost sigh of relief after we got that first goal. Yes, it came in fortuitous circumstances, but that second goal just put the game to bed. Rose was involved. It was a wicked, wicked shot from Ritchie, and it's so nice to see his rasping left foot fire in some shots on goal. He had a corker in the first half as well, if you remember, which was well saved by Henderson. And it's just great to see him play further forward like he did, because he's a threat. He's a threat. He's not got the legs. He's not as pacey as the likes of Miggy and ASM, but he is a threat. He can cross, which is something some of our team really do struggle with. He can cross, he can shoot. So it was great to see, and he deserved a goal, which he got. It was great to see.
It was fantastic. Sorry, Rob, we're going to drop out. Me and Sam are going to drop out. We'll bring in Joe, and we'll bring in Brandon, who I can see he's having a pint as well. So we'll drop out, and we'll come to you in 5 minutes.
Lovely stuff. Okay, so coming in, we have Joe and Brandon. Okay, and what's that you got, Brandon?
What I have?
Heineken. Heineken, lovely stuff. A fresh pint as well, as I can see. So you've started the celebrations.
Yeah, I'm on the cans already. Just waiting for the other cans, you know.
Fantastic. And so, where should we start? Let's start with Ender Stevens' defending. How much of that is from the David Luiz school of defending?
Well, I have to agree. For how well Sheffield United have done this year defensively, I think they're second or third best in the league, as Sky Sports said. But schoolboy defending, I would say myself. But any mistake you take your chance with, and saint-maximin put it away quite easily to make it 1-0. But I thought sod's law, the first game behind closed doors, Newcastle come out with potentially one of the best performances of the season. So all 3 goals, 3 points. You know, then we're going to the game against Aston Villa next week. I'm quite optimistic we can get a result. Obviously, they're currently playing at the moment against Chelsea. I'm not sure what the score is, but they're there for the taking. Aston Villa. Yeah, they've got a few good players in Jack Grealish, Conor Hourihane, and Douglas Luiz.
They've been really sloppy as well.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Aston Villa are one of those teams where
I didn't expect them like that. Sheffield United.
Oh, absolutely.
They've
been. I would say that's probably what the 3rd away game they've lost all season. For a team who's recently got promoted to lose only 3 away games so far in the first season of the Premier League, 2 of them being, I think, Chelsea and Liverpool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but great away form. I think Chris Wilder's done a great job there. But will we break in the top 10? Yes, I think we could. Play like we played against today. I don't see why not. But give Steve Bruce credit where it's due. For the results that he had in pre-season and stuff like that, I think he's done an absolutely outstanding job. And if this takeover does go through, give him a chance. Why not?
I think if he stay in this form, we can easily go for a top 10, top 9, top 8 finish.
Definitely. And so I think before the lockdown, what sort of scoreline would you have expected if this game went ahead at its normal scheduled date, Brandon?
If I'm going to be optimistic, I would take a draw. 1-1, 0-0, I don't know. 0-0. Being optimistic.
So, I think Sheffield United, we've seen especially on Wednesday night as well, they've lost the momentum for their European challenge. But how much of an achievement is it? We'll go back to you. How much of an achievement is it to get one over Chris Wilder, knowing that not many other managers have managed to do that?
Well, it's a big win, I think. Like Sheffield United is really a team to to be scared of in that way. Like they're like the second or third most team that conceded less goals. So I think we do pretty well, scoring 3 goals. And Joe Linton banging 1. It's who would have expected that? Well, I actually placed a bet today that Joe Linton would score two goals in 2 halves. And if he would do that, I would donate 50 euros to the Newcastle fans channel. But unfortunately, he didn't score the first half.
He didn't score, so we've not got that. But 50 euros would have been nice. Fantastic. And so finally, let's finish with your thoughts going into Wednesday's game. Predictions, scoreline predictions for Wednesday night.
To Villa.
Yeah.
It's an away game, right? Or is it a home game?
Home, yeah.
It's a home. How they're playing now, I would say 2-1 win. 2-1 win.
And
for me, I would say, considering how Aston Villa are currently playing, I would say 2-0. But obviously, I will be watching this Chelsea game very closely. But yeah, 2-0. And I would say 3 points against Aston Villa would automatically, I would say, push us to us. I would say we are safe. We're over the 40-point mark. That'll be us safe.
I'm gonna say the 2-1. The goal from Aston Villa is gonna come from Jack Grealish, and we should have signed him if we get taken over.
Well, they're holding Chelsea there at the moment, 0-0 in that game after 21 minutes. But thank you guys for joining us, and I'm sure we shall see you sometime soon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Shut up.
Bye now.
Cheers. Shut up.
So there are the thoughts. We want to get more of you on. If you want to come on, click on that StreamYard link. So yes, it's going really well, isn't it? I'm really enjoying this interaction with the fans, and also third goal. Let's talk about that third and final goal. What is it about one thing I noticed is that Joe Linton, once he plays Richie through down the left, he doesn't stick around trying to admire it. I think the Joe Linton before Christmas would have not been busting a gut to get into the middle. He does the exact opposite today. Because he senses a chance.
I think he had to. I think he's been criticised, and I think now Steve Bruce has said for quite a while that he's been working on Joe Linton to instead of hovering around the box, get in the box, get inside the box, hover around it, get around the 6-yard box, and it was more of it today. I know he fluffed his chance in the first half, which, let's face it, we all were disappointed about. But then again, it was Joe Linton. We think ourselves, well, here we go again. But he was muscling himself about. He had that. To be honest, Egan's first yellow card for me is not a yellow card. I think that's soft. I think Joe Linton's is soft as well. So Sheffield United will probably feel a little bit hard done by that. He got another yellow card later on, but that wouldn't have been a red card because he's already just had the one. So that was soft, but yeah, put himself about. He obviously helped by getting Egan sent off, got himself a goal. Nice celebration with Jamal Lascelles. I seen it on the Twitter just before there, doing the baby celebration, picking the ball up into his belly, and that was nice to see. Bit of teamship there And hopefully, we'll always say every time he scores, because this is what he's fourth of the season, including the cup goals. So, funny enough, he's only 2 behind Almira, and Joe Linton still could be our top scorer this season, which is mental.
Yeah, speaking of Almiron, he missed a chance, which we'll come back to in a moment. But the thing is, even if that first yellow card for John Egan shouldn't have been a yellow card, but he still has a yellow card, then what is he doing trying to tug back Joe Linton when you got Chris Basham coming in as a backup defender anyway?
I don't know. I'll let Sam answer that. And I'll bring in Adam.
Well, the thing is, Basham being there stopped it being a straight red. He was through and got Joe Linton's absolutely done him. He's absolutely done him. So it was more like taking one for the team. It was a soft first yellow card, but at the end of the day, Joe Linton, he's done him twice. So he's played well. I'm glad he got his goal because it detracts the interest from that miss in the first half. But I was expecting him to score it, to be honest, because he scored a very similar one at Oxford, and the way he shaped up, he just fluffed it in the end. But it is what it is. But everything worked out in the end. And do you reckon, Rob, that goal celebration with the baby thing, do you reckon that was dedicated to me, as I've just had a child, or is that too much of a coincidence?
I'm sure there might have been some link down the line. Of course, Matt Ritchie had a chat with you recently, and he probably gave Joe Linton the nudge to say, his son's missus.
No coincidence that we got on the score sheet today after a pep talk from me.
Fantastic. So joining us, Adam, is it? I'm not mistaken.
Hey, how you guys?
It's lovely to have you with us. So your thoughts today? It's been about 45 minutes since the full-time whistle blew, but are you still celebrating?
It's been a long and tiring lockdown. It's been an emotional lockdown. It's been tough, but this has made it. This has made it a lot more bearable, and it's made it worth it. I mean, we waited for football to come back for so long, and it's really good that we come back and we see our team win, and to win in such a convincing way. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, I guess that feeling you get of us actually winning a game for the first time in over 100 days. It's lovely to have that feeling again, isn't it?
100%. And like I say, I mean, the way that we did it, you know, going into lockdown or before lockdown or before the Premier League, was paused. If we had played this game then, I don't see us winning 3-0. I don't see us being so, controlling of the game. And I don't know if it's because there were no fans. I don't know if it's because the pressure was kind of taken off of the players, and they maybe thought of it as a little bit more of a training match. But, you know, it just worked out for us today. I don't know what it was, but every ball fell for us. Every challenge we went into, we looked like we wanted it more. Yes, we were fortuitous with the red card, and yes, the game did swing there. But I think even if that didn't happen, I think we still were winning this game today. I think Bruce got the lineup correct. I was thinking about the centre-back pairing. I wasn't sure if Fernandez should have played ahead of Shah, but I think the defence had nothing really to do today. Lascelles and Fernandez didn't have much to take care of today. But apart from that, that was the only thing that I thought was a bit questionable about the lineup. But I think Bruce had the lineup. I think he had the tactics spot on, and we were always winning this game today.
Yeah, and you mentioned the lineup. Of course, the substitutions came pretty late on. How much of an effect do you think that'll have going into Wednesday, considering today was the first time in 100 days that we played? Of course, the players right now will be feeling very leggy. How much of an effect do you think the late substitutions, would you have changed things earlier at all?
Yeah, I would have liked to, at 2-0, I think you could have taken ASM off a little bit earlier. I would have liked to have seen Lazaro getting more game time. I think he's got a lot more to offer than what he's shown. Also would have been nice to see Andy Carroll play a little bit more. I have a bit of a soft spot for Andy Carroll. When I was a kid, he was my hero. Obviously Alan Shearer, then him. And I think you know, he has. in Bruce's mind, it was about making sure that the win was in the bag, and I'm sure he didn't want to unsettle the team too much. That's why he delayed the substitutes. But quite a few players he used. I think he used all of his substitutes. I could be wrong, but I think he used all his substitutes. So enough players got a run out. Enough players got time on the pitch, and then some players did manage to get a few minutes off and get a rest. So I think it will benefit us going into Wednesday's game, and I think from what I'm seeing here, Villa against Chelsea, Jack Grealish seems like he's going to be playing double 90 minutes. So there's a lot of pressure on the Villa players to play the full games because they need to get the most out of their players. They're in a worse position than we are in terms of the relegation battle. So I think we're going to have the upper hand when it comes to the fitness on Wednesday.
Would you change anything tactically Wednesday?
No, I don't think so. I think we would pretty much. It looks like Villa line up 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, and I think we would match them. And I think we should continue that way. I think the 4-2-3-1 that Bruce played today is the tactic we should go against Villa. The only change I might suggest is if you want a bit of a control over the game, more of a ball playing centre half, put Shaw in instead of Fernandez. You based off of today, you can't really change anything actually.
And so we are in 12th place, 2 points off the top 10. Even better, 2 points off Arsenal. Do you think the $1 million question is? Do you think we can overtake Arsenal? Finish above them even.
I would, as Kevin Keegan said, I would love it if we could overtake them because my best friend is an Arsenal fan, and I would love to rub one in there. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It seems like we're going one way and Arsenal going the other. I'm not sure what is currently going on in the Arsenal. Yeah.
That reminds me of a famous Bobby Robson quote, as he said, "We've gone boom boom that way, and they've gone boom boom the other way."
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! But Adam, it has been fantastic. Right. It has been fantastic to have you on the show today, and we hope you have a fantastic night. Go and celebrate.
Will do. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you. So there are thoughts of Adam, and we welcome back Lee Lawler.
Just briefly, because Matt's been waiting a long time, so I'll drop back out again, and we'll bring Matt in.
Oh, so fantastic. So we bring in Matt. Hello, Matt. Thank you very much for your patience. And let us know your thoughts. What are you doing tonight to celebrate?
Not a whole lot, really. I'm in Perth, Australia. It's 10 to midnight here, so a bit late to be going and celebrating, but I'll just celebrate here
going to bed
instead.
happy, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic. At what point did you start to think that you can relax, where the 3 points were wrapped up? At what point in the second half did you feel that?
Well, just we got a goal sort of like quickly this time, like against Southampton. I started biting my nails, thinking, "Are we going to get this goal? Are we going to get this goal?" After they got the play up, and whereas like we just sort of took over straight away. We'd already sort of taken over a bit as it was anyway, but we certainly put our foot on their throat like as soon as Egan got sent off. So I was pretty confident. I was pretty confident going in as well because we beat them away. So why can't we beat them at home?
And how much do you think the red card had an effect on the end result?
It was certainly a game changer, but again, like a couple of people said, probably would have only won by a goal or so if we like there wasn't a red card. But I thought we were looking good when we'll get on the attack and that, and they weren't looking that menacing other than can't think of the centre forward's name, but they had one good chance in one match, really. So
Billy Sharp, yeah. And I saw a comment from Jason Carter there saying the Wenger out brigade must be crying into their warm beer right now. Like I said to Adam, 2 points off the top 10, 2 points off Arsenal. Do you think that we can finish above them? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it would be the first time in my lifetime that would happen.
Yeah, well, don't we play 5 of the bottom 6 in the remainder of our fixtures?
We have a rather fortunate run in, yes, including Bournemouth, which is coming up.
I think a lot of the guys look really good today. So one thing I noticed a lot is that ASM putting his head up a bit more. Like, obviously, he's the most skillful player on the team, but he just wasn't trying to take on the whole team every time. He was looking up, seeing, Miggy running, so past Miggy. Just seems like we're, strangely enough, no one's been able to train together. Yet it seems like we're working better than what we were before the lockdown. So, and just, a lot of players, a bit of time off. Richie properly recovered from the injury and that, and just a bit of belief. Maybe a couple of the lads, especially like the Longstaffs and the likes of Dummett and even ASM, who obviously loves the club, are going, we might have a new owner soon. We're going to be playing with like really good players soon. Let's get a good finish and just give it our all, sort of, for the fans who are, the 50,000 that are now watching from home instead of in the stands.
Yeah, it's as if they've never been away. But anyway, I will let you get some sleep, and thank you very much for joining us, and give my love to Perth, Australia, a wonderful part of the world. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Good day.
And yourself. Bye now. So
it's an international show we've got.
Yeah, well, it is an international show. Sam, I'll kick you out of this one. We've actually got another round of the world, TJ from South Africa. It will be our last guest tonight. So, Sam, I'll bring you back shortly. I'll kick you out and we'll bring in TJ.
So, hello, TJ. So, we've had fans from Atlanta in America, Hong Kong tonight, Australia, and now South Africa. It is fantastic to have you on, TJ. How are you feeling after that win?
I'm feeling amazing. Thank you for having me on.
And so, at what point in that game did you start to relax?
After the first goal.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We looked. Yeah. After the. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! Go for it. Go for it.
Oh no! After the first goal, we just looked like we just took control of the match and we had it from there.
Of course, Ender Stevens with that terrible bit of defending, bit of a lack of judgment there. Now, leading up to that, of course, how much do you think the red card had an effect on the end result?
I think it had a massive effect on the result. I do think we still would have won the game, but I think it did change the dynamic of the game. I mean, it wasn't like Sheffield were completely out of the game after the red card. They still had a few good chances. So it was a bit touch and go, but I was always confident we were going to get the win.
And with 38 points now, I guess the big question is, do you think that we're well and truly safe now?
I don't think we well and truly safe. I think maybe 2 more wins and then I'll be a lot more confident in saying that we're definitely not in a relegation battle.
Give over, TJ. We're safe. We're safe now. Let's celebrate. We've got Arsenal. 2 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah, no, that's I'm very excited about that. I mean, I'm very happy. I'm hoping that we can get a top 10 finish. And I think we just need to take it one game at a time. I mean, we've got a good run of fixtures, so I'm excited. I'm hoping these last few games we can really pull something together.
And your thoughts on Joe Linton today? Do you stick with him for the remaining 8 games?
Yes. For me, I've always liked Joe Linton. He's always got himself in good positions. It's just his execution in the end. And I've always been a big fan from the beginning. And I really do hope he does well the rest of the season.
I've just seen a comment there from Foshizi. Just imagine Adama Traore on one wing and ASM on the other. And that is just Oh. It's making me excited. Oh, just imagine that. And so, how many? So if you don't think we're safe, how many more points? Or I guess you said 2 more wins. So you think
so
6 more
points, and then I think definitely. Yeah, definitely. And
Well,
then I think 100%. And then I think the focus can be pushing further up the table.
So TJ, it's been fantastic having you on. And of course, you are our last guest today. So thank you very much. And thank you to every single guest that has taken part in the past hour. It has been a joy to present. And I'll look forward to the next fan reaction show coming your way on Wednesday night after the Aston Villa game. So yeah, those were the thoughts of TJ, and we bring Sam back into the room, and he's sandwiched nicely in between Lee and myself.
No,
Your head looks bigger now.
I don't think Sam was gonna doesn't like that comment, but I think it's been a good show. It's a first show. A couple of glitches, yes, to be expected.
Yeah.
Rob, you presented it very well. The transition, we've had a lot of fans in and out from literally down the road to bottom of South Africa, way to Asia, to Australia. We've had Jay from Atlanta, so we're all the way around the world. So it's been a good first show. Of course, we're always strive to improve. Of course, we are. So next home, if you want to present, Rob, or we'll mix it around, we will do. We'll talk about it. But yeah, it's been a good first show. Do you want to have a look at wrap up with Twitter? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's wrap up with Twitter. But before we do, I'll say that for the next fan reaction show, if you've only just tuned in, then if you want to come on here like you've seen with other fans, do click on that StreamYard link when it goes up around the time that we do go live. So that is how you get onto the show like you've seen today.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of new people today, which is fantastic, who probably can't get access because they're at the end of the world, and it's great to pull them in. So since you're blind as a bat, Rob, I'll read out a few of these tweets for you. So these are the
too small for me.
So the East Stand says, probably not Ray. However, I think it's a big step for our new potential owners in the right direction. That must be some sort of takeover talk. Isaac Hayden has tweeted as well, basically saying it was a good performance to come back with. Great shift from everyone. We look to build on it and go again on Wednesday. We knew we couldn't be with us, but we felt the support and spirit, which was really nice from Isaac Hayden as well. What a great Father's Day, yeah. How was your Father's Day, Sam?
Yeah. Good. I'm wearing my Father's Day present now. I've completed my Newcastle United outfield shirt collection. I now own every Newcastle United outfield shirt since 1995, which is when I started supporting the team. So cracking to complete the collection. So yeah, it's been a good Father's Day.
I hate to make you feel old, Sam, but that was the year I was born.
Wind your neck in.
This one's interesting. Sky Sports News 7 minutes ago said that Saudi Arabia has announced a crackdown on websites illegally streaming sports amid suggestions that piracy was a key issue holding up Newcastle takeoff from being completed. And Melissa Marsh has quoted that, saying it's happening a little bit with the takeover. Yeah, so that's interesting. And then another one, hats off to Steve Bruce. The players looked fit and up for it. Decades of watching the game together. I wasn't going to stop our lot missing this one. So you can see a lot of people are different ways of watching TV from home because we can't be at the ground, which is a shame. But the last one I'll read out, Charlie says, what can I say? It's just a double bacon sandwich and beer in the jacuzzi after 3-0 win. And on Father's Day, I love your family. Obviously, I'm not going to click on that because that'll take me to Instagram. But yeah, that is your tweets up to date, Rob.
Fantastic, and it has been an absolute joy to hear all of your thoughts. And the light is sort of coming into my room now. I've got a east-facing window, I think. But anyway, that is it. Thank you very much for all your comments. Thank you so much to all our guests that have come on. We're really looking forward to trying this out again sometime in the future, of course, for the game against Aston Villa. And I guess until then, keep watching because we will be going live with the player ratings, the final word, and the opposition fan view. That is if the Sheffield United fan that we have arranged is brave enough to come on. And just as I look down, Aston Villa have taken the lead against Chelsea. So, but we're not going to talk about that now. But yes, keep watching because we will be going live with those other videos. So be sure to watch that. and we shall see you all later. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. We'll be live in about 15-20 minutes with scoring the player, so come back.